Hi everybody, welcome to this overview demo of inFlow Manufacturing. I'm Kevin and I'll be your guide today through this demo. We're going to start here with our web dashboard. This is a new feature that I'm really excited about. It gives us a lot of really great high-level information. So things like total sales revenue over a period of time, which is adjustable to you. We also have here the products to reorder. And the nice thing about inFlow Manufacturing is we'll include the products that we actually need to manufacture in addition to things that we need to purchase from vendors or stuff that we need to transfer between locations. We can come in, drag and drop and adjust these. So I have two open manufacturing orders here. Maybe I don't want this widget and I can add another one that better suits my need. When I click into products, we have this beautiful product list, which showcases a picture of the product, a name, and a SKU. We can see the different locations where I keep inventory. Here's what's in my production shop. Here's what's in my main warehouse. I have the ability as well to track multiple product types. And stock product is typically everything that you want to track, sell, and consume in quantities. And then we track products with bill of materials and without bill of materials. Essentially to say, without bill of materials is a product that you either sell through directly or a raw material or subassembly that raw material that you're consuming. With bill of materials means it's a product that we manufacture. That could be a finished good or a subassembly that you're going to use later on. We also have the ability to track lot numbered products as well as serial number products with end-to-end traceability through manufacturing orders. If we come down here and we look at our list, you can see, for example, this 3 here. That indicates that this is a product group with variants. And if I click into it, I can see the different lengths of 3/8 hose that I have in the system. I can also see the quantity of each that I have on hand and if there's a different price associated with it. This is quantity on hand or available, and this is at all locations. When I have this product list, I can also filter by category. So I can come in and look at all of my janitorial products, for example, and see those there. But if I want to drill down further here or in reports, I can also say, hey, I want to look at all of my cleaning chemicals and have that pull up there. The nice thing about any of our lists is you can click this wrench icon to customize the headers. And for example, I could pull up a custom field like country of origin or color to add context to this list, and I can rearrange it to better suit the view that I want to have. I can also use those filters as a way to filter my list here or reports. So for example, I want to look up all of my products that are made in Canada. I can pull that up here. And those custom fields can be called whatever you like. And of course, I can just search for products if I want to. We're going to start with this humble empty bag. If I click into it, I have a unique name, I have a SKU, a description, category, and barcode here. Now, I know this is a lot of information and you may not need all of this information, and that's perfectly fine. All you need to create a product is a unique name, a category, and a product type, which we assume is stocked. One great feature about inFlow that I really like, especially if you buy products where you don't care about a brand or you buy from multiple vendors who might have different barcodes, you can go with the barcode that inFlow generated for you. But if this is the barcode for the product I buy from supplier 1 that matches my needs, this is the barcode from supplier 2 that matches my needs. That way, no matter which of the 3 barcodes I scan, any interactions with those barcodes will link back to the same product. I don't need to create multiple product records. I can also print labels for these products that are scannable with both serial number and barcodes. I also have the ability to have units of measure like length, width, height, and weight, as well as what I sell it in and what I purchase it in. Now don't fear, again, these units of measure are completely customizable. I can click edit, and if I want to track this per bag, that's something I could do instead. And inFlow knows that if I buy 1 case of these bags, it'll give me 100 bags. So inFlow knows if I buy 5, increase my inventory by 500. If we have a specific brand, we can type that into this custom field, along with entering things like country of origin or any other information that you want. And again, you can come down here, change the custom field, or even change the type that it is. We have a date, we have a drop down, and we have a checkbox. You can also enter customs info here if you want to do that as well, in case you need to reference that later. We'll show you the quantity that you have on hand, as well as what's available. And if I hover over this bar, I can see that I have 793 available to use in production or to sell in my main warehouse, and I have 11 that are reserved. But let's get a closer look. If I click into there and I click View Breakdown, I can see that for this product, the reserved quantity is for anticipated builds, but I should have a total of 804 on hand. In the case of a product like this, I can also set up reorder points and say, hey, here's, I'm gonna order this from a vendor. Or if you're using inFlow manufacturing, we also give you the options for stock transfer as well as a manufacturing order. When I fall below 250 bags, inFlow is gonna ask me to reorder 1,000, and that can be through an email notification that you get daily or weekly or whatever time in between. I can look at the vendors I order products from. In this case, I can input their lead time, which helps with reorder forecasting. I can look at order history, and I can see all the manufacturing orders this was consumed in, or sales orders, or purchase orders, depending on the product, as well as movement history for any adjustments, like through a stock count or stock transfer. When we're talking about this product, I use this internally, so I don't have a specific price and cost, but I can set up advanced pricing, which we'll look at on a different product. Now, because we're talking about manufacturing, if I click into this, or if this is a raw material, I can click on manufacturing and see where this product gets used. And here's the 3 products that consume this product and the quantities. I'm gonna click into this special blend of coffee. This is a product that we have here. It is also tracked by lot numbers, and we have different pricing. If I turn on advanced, that allows me to set up a fixed sale price, like perhaps my retail price is $16. I can have pricing in different currencies, or I can set my price to be a fixed markup. So that way, if I sell it to this type of customer, they're gonna pay 100% markup. This customer is gonna pay 80% markup for these bagged ground beans, or whatever makes sense versus my sale price. You can see the cost here, and in inFlow, we track cost by default on a moving average, but we also give you options for first in, first out, last in, first out, or manual costing, depending on what your costing methods are, and they'll all be affected by the purchase orders and manufacturing orders you create in the system. And just as a high level, I can look here, and I can see that this product has a lot number of SB432014, and this lot number is trackable. So I can look at my order history, or sorry, my movement history here, look up the lot number, and see the details of that and filter this list. In this case, you can see here, and the expiration date for this product is May 5th, so that's good. If I look at the manufacturing order, we have 2 products that go into this. This is my bill of materials. So I can see a 1 kilogram bag, and I can see what my cost is here. And I also have a house blend coffee, and I can do that by weight. We also, through production planning, have the ability to have operations. In this case, this is packaging, and we track labor costs associated with it. And we also have grinding, and we'll track the associated labor costs with that. And the nice thing about this is we have our component costs, our operation costs, and I can see the estimate of what our cost per unit is here to manufacture. Of course, when we actually manufacture it, we will adjust that to be the actual and update your cost accordingly. If I come back to this reorder or this product list, I can click reorder, and I can see all the products that I need to reorder through a manufacturing order. If I click here, this will generate a manufacturing order for me to manufacture this product automatically. And this is going to take us to the manufacturing page. In this case situation, I can assign this to somebody if I want. I can also choose to prioritize this order. Other costs here are for costs that can be associated with this manufacturing, but are sort of a fixed cost. And they can be things, not necessarily related to coffee, but like galvanizing or plating, where it's based on a batch that goes across everything. Due date is when you want this production to be completed. And you can also add custom fields here. One great custom field that some of our customers like to add is sort of one that I like to call stage. And you can turn this into a drop down so that way as people touch it, they could add things like, picking, processing, bagging, and then, quality assurance. So that way you can kind of update the list of where that order is specifically. So in order to continue with this, everything is good. And I just want to highlight two things here. When you hover over one of these lines, you can click these three dots and it will give you the option to edit quantity or swap this product out. So we do allow you to swap in or out other products that you might have. And if I click here to edit quantity, I have the option to say, hey, I only made 4 kilograms, but I consumed the same amount. So I'm just going to modify the yield because there was a loss, and that's going to affect my cost per unit. Or I can adjust the relevant components. So let's say we're going to make 6 kilograms, adjust those components, and you can see that those have updated in time. Oh, this is showing me that this item is low in stock, and if I use it to produce this product, I might not be able to fit all of the products that I have open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this, and here it will show me the items that I have to pick, a sublocation if they have a sublocation. I can indicate that I've picked that. I can indicate that I've picked that, and I would confirm that this is the lot that I selected, or I picked a different lot if one existed. And then I move to the assembling, and I can see I have packaging here. I can see the details associated with it, whether that's a per unit cost for labor, a per unit cost, or grinding. But let's just say we complete all of those. So we packaged it, and if we go back, we grind it, and then we'll go back to the overview. And this order is complete. I can indicate where I want to put it away to. So we're going to put this into sublocation shelf 1. And we're going to assign it a lot of 1001. I can also update my expiration date. So this is going to expire June 24th. And the manufacture date is today, create date, assign that, and now this product is updated. And we're going to put that away. I complete the order. And this is done. Now, if I go to choose to look at this product, I can come back and I can see the movement history. So I can see that manufacturing order 1001 was used here. And I can click here and this will take me back to the manufacturing order if I have to look up what products went into it. And I can see that this lot code went into this particular manufacturing order. For something a little bit more straightforward that doesn't include batch and lot tracking, we do also have the option, for example, to look at like our main warehouse. And we can see right here from this list that we have stock availability. So I currently do not have enough stock to complete this order, but I have enough available to complete this one.
All right, this is Kevin from the future. I'm circling back here to go over current operation screen, something we didn't in our initial recording. This screen talks about the operations that are due or are ready to start, in this case, for any of the manufacturing orders you have open. And just to look at our orders, here's all my open orders for this location, and they're all at various different stages. So on the current operations screen, we have quality assurance for 1 order. We have assembly for 5 orders, and we have overhead, which is a fixed cost, and that's why we don't see this estimate completion date. The nice thing about this is with what's ready to start, I can input what my capacity is. So if I only have 5 hours of capacity for assembly, and I put that in, you can see that my estimated completion time has been extended out a week. So we'll kind of give you a sense of, what that looks like and whether staging will affect anything. And it will kind of give you a completion date of when those steps should be done. And if I click into here, I can see all the orders and the estimated duration. So that might help me make a decision about which order to prioritize. If I click all planned, this is every operation that's going to occur. So you can see that we have 3 hours here. There's 2 orders with overhead. And again, if I come in and I input those same details, this is going to look a little bit different just because we have more of those available to you. You can see here, here's all the ones with quality assurance.
So let's start with this boxed unicycle. I'm going to click into it. We can see how many we need to manufacture, the components again. We're going to start. We're going to indicate that yes, we've picked that product and we've picked that product. We're going to assemble and go to operations. We can see instructions. And if I click here, I can see that I have an estimated labor cost along with cost per hour. And the nice thing about production planning is that I can click here to start the timesheet. And as I'm going through and working on this assembly, I will have the ability to pause the timesheet because maybe I'm taking a break or something else more important comes across my desk, and then I can start a new timesheet. And as I do this and complete it and move to the next operation, you can see that that information is tracked. And if I click details, you can see what team member has worked on it, the start time, end time, duration, and what the total cost for those were. I also have the ability to have something like overhead or a fixed cost associated with it, where in this case, my fixed cost per unit is $5. And maybe this overhead covers miscellaneous shipping supplies and other incidentals that we want to include in our increase. So I'll complete all operations, and just again, the same way, I can go to stages and say, hey, this is in QA, save, and I won't put it away until they approve it. If I click on this manufacturing order, for example, I can see that I'm missing these items. If I click where this red exclamation mark is because I don't have enough, it will take me to the reorder list and I can see all the products that I need to reorder or products that I need to update what vendor I'm purchasing this product from. When I do that, I can add the other operations that I want to order as well. Click reorder, and this will generate 2 POs for me, 1 to each vendor. If you have an integration with one of our accounting integrations, we'll push the purchase order into those platforms such as QuickBooks Online or Xero, and I can click here and open up that product. So this is our purchase order page. I can set the delivery date of when I'm going to receive it, or my vendor advises me I will. I can indicate if it's going to be shipped to me, where to ship to. I can assign a location. I can also come in and say, hey, here's the taxes that we pay and set up multiple taxing schemes. I can also set up payment terms. I'm on net 30 with this vendor, so I can see when this would be due. And if I need further tracking with purchase orders, I can add if this is for a particular project, maybe someone requested it, has this delivery been inspected, but you can change these custom fields that suit you and your particular operations. I can see that I need to order 48, here's my vendor price, and I can add a discount here, maybe based on volume, I'm gonna get a 10% discount from the vendor. I can also input the vendor code and save it back to the product record so I don't have to re-enter that. And I can add other items as well. Maybe I'm gonna order those too. And if something like my pricing changes, I can hit $17.50 now, and I can save that back to the product record. If I add freight here, this will update my product cost for me, but I can also click into cost details and add it to non-vendor costs. The primary difference is that freight is what you'll pay to your vendor, whereas non-vendor costs are those costs like a third-party shipping company or duties or taxes that you have to pay on this product. And if you put that in there, it will also update your landed cost of goods for these products. So let's save this and let's email out this purchase order directly to our vendor. This is just an example of what our documents look like, and you can always customize it. I will go over that a little bit later. If I come back here, I can email that out, but I can also see all the other open purchase orders that I have. And one great feature is if I click these boxes, I can actually email out up to 20 purchase orders at a time to follow up with my vendor so I don't have to do it one by one or update custom fields. If I want to click into an order, the nice thing about receiving these is if I click here, I can indicate whether I've received everything, or maybe I just did a partial receipt. Hey, I only received 30 of these. I can also print labels for everything that is on this order if I want to. For products that have expiration date, lot numbers, or serial numbers, that process looks a little bit different. And so what happens now is if I were to receive a regular product, I could receive it and indicate what sublocation I'm going to receive it to, along with the date, but there's no lot number for me to assign. For this product, I'll say, yeah, I received that, and it's gonna ask me to assign a lot number. I can scan it, or I can add it in. Let's say this is lot number 1004. I continue, and it'll ask me to enter information like the expiration date. Maybe this one expires in October. Sell by date, if that's something I track, or manufacturing date, and I'll assign and receive. And you can see that there. I can also update the sublocation for where I'm receiving that product to. And that way, this is all tracked for end-to-end traceability in case you have to do some sort of recall or follow up on where a product went. For vendors, if I click into our purchase order tab here and go to vendors, I can see a list of all my vendors. I can click into that product, see my balance with them. If I have any credits, I can add a custom field. They can have multiple addresses. I can also set up my payment terms, any discounts I might get, the currency I pay in, payment methods, and taxing schemes. I can also see the products I order from the vendors, and I can input my lead time to, again, help with reorder forecasting to make sure that if I do want to look at my product mix, that's something I can fix here. I can look at my order history as well as my payment history. The customer tab works similarly. If I click here, I can see all of my customers. And I'm gonna show you a really great trick. So let's say we're working with Big Corp Inc. If you add a custom field here, and I will say this is business type because I want to track my sales by the different businesses I deal with. Maybe this one is a retail customer. If I want that to populate on a sales order automatically, I can come in and go to global. I'll click into custom fields. And if I click onto sales orders and add that exact same custom field here, it will automatically populate for me when I go to make that sales order. So let's start with a quote, which isn't going to reserve any of my inventory. I'll select the vendor, Big Corp Inc. And without doing anything, you can see that this custom field is automatically fulfilled for me. I can use that as a filter here or in reports, but I don't have to fill it out every time. So this helps with those repetitive tasks and help your team be more efficient. I can set the ship by date. Maybe the vendor told me they want this by April 29th. So I can enter that into the system. And I have the customer details. We're gonna ship this order and I can add whatever products I want to this. So let's say we're gonna add some of that coffee that we just made. And let's look up a valve. I can add whatever I like to this order. Once I get everything that I need, including something like a serial number, which we have here, I can indicate how much I'm going to sell, but I can see here I only have 1 kilogram of this product available. If I try to sell more, it will tell me I don't have enough, and then I can click this red exclamation mark to create another manufacturing order to produce this. I can add those different items in the quantities that I need or my customer wants. I can also choose to give them a discount if I want to. And from here, I also have the ability to come in and email the quote directly to the customer. Now you can customize these documents if you want, and this is something I'm going to review later on. And what I'll do is when the customer's ready to go, we'll convert this to an order and I can generate my pick list. If this is a product with lot numbers, it will tell you what lot number to pick. In this case, it chooses the one that's going to expire the soonest. And it also gives you the ability to, when you're picking the products, if it's a serialized product, assign what serial number you're going to assign to this order so we can track that later. I'll go through, ensure that I'm picking all of the correct products. And if I do happen to want to change the lot number, I can pick a different one if one exists. We'll pick those items. And once they're all picked, I can then come to ship, and I can indicate if I'm shipping with multiple boxes. In this case, I can fill out this box and say I'm sending these 3 products, and in this box, I'm sending these 3 products. We do have an integration with EasyPost for printing shipping labels directly from inFlow, but I can come in and indicate we're gonna ship this box and put in who we're sending it by and what the tracking number is. So that way I can come back and reference this and track this order in the future. Well, the last thing I'll talk about, if I look at our sales order list, we have the ability to prioritize those sales orders, which we can show here. I can sort by that, so I can drag and drop. And maybe I want an employee to pick just these 3. I can come in here and assign it to Thomas, and Thomas will get an email that I've asked them to pick those orders. And I can also see the stock availability of these orders and what can be fulfilled here. This can be a great guide to help your team on reordering or making sure that you have enough product to fulfill your orders. If I come to this box here, I can see all of the adjustments I can do. We can do a stock adjustment, which is a plus minus to your inventory, but we can also do a stock transfer. So in this case, I'm going to move some inventory from my main warehouse to our production shop. I can come in and add products. I can scroll through my list. I can do this on the mobile app, but I can add whatever item I want to here. And once I get that set up, I can indicate how many I'm sending. If there's sublocations associated with these products, that would populate. But in this case, I'm going to send the transfer from my main warehouse. And then I'm also going to have the inventory to receive it on the other side. And I'll let Thomas know that I've assigned him this stock transfer so that later on he can receive it. And this will move inventory from one location to another. And we have the ability to do stock counts as well. So I can go new count here, and then I can add products by location. You can see that lot numbers will also be tracked, so I'll be forced to verify how much I have of each lot. I can go prepare count, and if you want to split this up, you can split it up by number of sheets to give out to the rest of your team, or in this case, we'll just keep it to one single sheet. We do have a report that will tell you what the cost is of these adjustments. So we'll start counting, and I have the ability to indicate whether or not I've counted everything correctly. If there is a difference, you'll be able to see that here through the green or red adjustments with their appropriate plus or minus. And of course, I can confirm that I have all of those lot numbers as well. And when we complete and adjust, that will change my inventory. We do also have a series of integrations. If we come into here, we can look at integrations. We have integrations that we've developed directly, so with Amazon for FBA or FBM merchants, QuickBooks Online for your accounting, Shopify to pull orders in from and push inventory to, as well as update order status, Squarespace and WooCommerce for e-commerce. WooCommerce will also allow you to pull orders in and push inventory, Xero for accounting, and Zapier for connecting to other programs without codes that deal with Zapier. And we have third-party integrations that we've built or that are connected through Extensive to other organizations for e-commerce along with EDI. And API is available to you as well. If I want to, I can also click on this little kiosk or booth. This is Showroom. I'm going to turn it on. And what it does is it allows you to share this link with your customers. You can adjust the settings of your showroom to better suit your brand. So things like color, logos, a text banner, whether or not you choose to show all your products or just some. Maybe I don't want to show my customers the raw materials or sub-assemblies. I only want them to see finished goods. Or maybe if I look at chess set, I don't want them to see the chess set box. I just want them to see the completed chess set. And when you invite a customer to be a part of this, they'll have a username, which will be their email, and their password, which they manage. And when they log in, they'll see the price that you want them to see along with any taxes they have to pay. We have some customization that's also available. So if I come to global, I can set custom fields. So I can indicate what my custom fields are. You saw me set one of those earlier. We allow you to have 10 per record. And a common question I get asked is about transaction numbers. Kevin, I don't want to start at transaction number 1. Can we start at a different number? Absolutely. If I want to start my sales orders at, 100,650, I can do that. And we'll just increment by 1 from there. And same thing with any of these. You can also rename some fields. Commonly what I see is when we're dealing in a medical setting, a lot of them will change the word customer to patient. So in here I have customer, and I can say, hey, I want this to say patient. I want this to say patient, and this will update in the app in the appropriate places. I also have the option to have, when I come to orders, I can update documents. So let's say, for example, I want to create a packing slip, and I want this packing slip to show the total item, the weight, and the total item weight on the line. I can do that. I can also add things like lines, stripes, and line counts, and I can make other adjustments here if I want to. I save that, and now I can print or send this document out whenever I want as my default. We also give you the option for email design to change what those looks like. So for with sales quote, I could add here, for example, please provide 2 weeks notice before desired ship date. And when I send out an email, it will have that message. And if I want to, I can come back here and I can print labels directly for all of our products. We can generate barcodes for you, and we are a licensed GS1 reseller of products, barcode labels. But we can also generate ones for internal use. So for example, I want to add an image to this label, I can do that and pull that in here. We also support QR codes and scanning for serial and lot numbers. We also have a bunch of reports that are available to you that you're free to explore. They're available to you in PDF or CSV, and these are just a few examples that are available to you.
Kevin from the future here, just about to sign off. Thank you for watching this demo of inFlow Manufacturing. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our support or sales team, and we'll be able to assist you. Kevin signing off.